Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. So just coming back with the last little play with the Hunkydory Covenant members free gift, which is for the gents, and this is the very beautiful games night. So you've got your sort of beer and burger. This is the same image I used from the little book last time, and then you've got your games, chess, etc. And then your printed cardstock has those games on again, and then the foiled cardstock with this beautiful foiling at the top is the beers. Also brought out an insert to match the sort of wooded detail on here, because I'm going to be using that in my first, and I think probably my second card as well, to be fair. So let's get started. So I'm going to start by bringing in my trimmer. And I've got a card blank. It's a scalloped edge one. It's just under 7 by 7, but I'm going to be using it as 5 by 7. So I'm just going to have the scalloped edge on the end. If you haven't got any of these card blanks, or you don't want to cut into them, then you can just use a normal card blank and just use a border die on the end, and that will be fine. So if I take an inch off that end, I have to just tidy that edge up, and then I put that to the 5 inch there. So now what I've got is a 5 inch by nearly 7 inch. Okay, so let's just bring in my scoreboard, because I'm going to make an easel card out of this. And so half of 7 would be 3.5, but we are just under that. So I'm going to just go 1 notch under 3.5. Doesn't really matter if they're not quite equal. I think it's slightly bigger on this side, but that's fine. Okay, so let's pop that back. I've got a new little hidey hole for that, so we'll pop that away. So I'm going to bring in some gold memory card. Now, have I got a piece of A4 here? That's going to be the bit that I've forgotten. Okay, so I've got a piece of A4 gold memory card, and I'm going to do a piece for the base first of all. So I'm going 2 notches under 5, and I'm going to start at 7. I'm going to try, let's do 6 3/4 first of all, but I know that's going to be too big because of the scallops, but it's easier to cut things shorter than to make things longer. So yeah, so I think I'm going to need to go to 6.5. Okay, yep, so that's going to be better because I will round that off. And then I want another piece, so 2 notches under the 5. And I'm going to grab my ruler and we'll just measure this here. So I think if I go to 3 inches, that's going to give me a good border each side. So 5 by 3. You can see when those edges are rounded, that's going to fit on there quite nicely. Okay, so we've got a piece there we can save for a rainy day. Then let's grab some cardstock. So the topper is for the games night, so we'll pick this one up. I want that as well, not yet. And I'm doing a piece for this top here, so that's the 5 by 3. Now I think what I'm going to do is cut this down to 5 3/4, because whatever's left over is going to be probably used on a card that size. And then I think, so we need to be 2 notches under the 3. Thinking I'm probably going to go with the plainer side, maybe. Yeah. Dilly-dallying now. If I go there, then it's pretty much going to be all over. Let me just have a look at that topper again. Yeah, I'm going to go with the plain side because the topper frame is quite decorative, so that's going to put that in for me. Okay, and we've still got a decent sized piece of card there. Oh, we need to cut it down to 4 3/4. Actually turn it around that way because there's a little bit more texture on this side. That should fit onto there quite nicely, and it does. So the next piece is going to be this piece of insert paper. Like I say, I've picked the one to match. Now I am going to do it this way, so again I need to go 4 3/4. I'm just going to go a little bit steady because my trimmer doesn't usually like cutting these, but I will tidy it up with my guillotine. But my guillotine doesn't go up to 7 inches, so what length did we do that on there? It's 6.5, so just 2 notches off the 6.5. Yeah, I've only got a little guillotine, so it only goes up to the 6, so it's easier for me to just do a cut on here and then grab my guillotine, since it's not ripped it, just like it usually does. I can pop that in, just tidy up that end and tidy up that long end that we cut as well. Let's cut all that fluff off, so we don't want fluffy ends. And that's just one good reason to have a guillotine on standby. Right, let's do some assembling. I do want my corner rounder. Now, shall I use my deeper corner rounder? I think I will. So I'm going to use my, I think this is a cross-cut one, rather than my Hunkydory one. It just does a deeper rounder edge. So I'm just going to go around all of my edges on all of my layers. And what this will do is it will just make that transition between those scallops and that hard edge a little easier on the eye, I feel. So just pop these all the way around. And to get them with our insert. And this one cuts the insert really nicely. So does the Hunkydory one, to be fair. Okay. Okay, so now we can do some assembling. So the glues I'm going to be using today are the Clout all-purpose glue, which is an alcohol-based glue, same as the Hunkydory construction. The Clout tacky glue, which is a PVA sort of type water-based glue. And just because I have paper here, I'm going to be using the Hunkydory Dotty Tape Pen. So let's just go ahead and pop a nice amount of all-purpose over the back, and then I'm just going to pop some tacky in that corner, and we can go ahead and pop that on as straight as we can. Obviously, if you're using a border punch instead of using a scalloped edge card blank, you can go ahead and do the same scallop edge border on your layers if you want to. So on this layer, because it is paper, this type of glue, the tacky glue, which is water based, it will soak into the paper and it sort of stretches it and makes it bubble as it dries. So this alcohol based glue is perfect, but rather than having this layer floating around, I'm going to use that all-purpose glue to get this into a position I'm happy with, and then I'm going to use those dotty tape pen dots on the end, and that's going to pop that down nice and secure for me while that other glue goes off and dries nicely. So again, this is card, so now we can just go back to my other glues for these. Bring that around about there. And again, this is cardstock because it's from that printed cardstock. So I can use my normal glues. I think I'll have that way round. So at the moment what we've got is a card that looks like so. Okay, so let's grab the topper. It is a whopper of a topper. It is, I believe, just under 6 by 4.5, nearly 5. I'll measure it for you and tell you. So it is very big. But then again, if you're making a smaller card, you don't have to include this frame as it is. So it is in inches, yeah, 4.5 by 5 3/4. So big, huge topper. So I'm going to pull apart these frames. So as usual, I'm not going to use the middle one, I don't think. And it's a nice thin one, so I really love these really thin frames. So just ease them out without breaking it. Pop that onto my pile up there. If you see me putting the frames up there, what it is on the edge of my light there is like a part of it's actually a sort of adjustment knob, if you like, but it's actually the perfect sort of size to hold those up there and keep them straight without falling anywhere and getting sort of crushed. And they're just right at hand if I need one. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is pop this layer on flat, or should I put that on flat? Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to raise the frame. So I'm sorry, you're going to see me cutting up some frame pads, and I'm going to put this one flat in the middle. So let's go ahead and have a look where we want these to be. I want it to be sort of in the middle of the card, so you're probably looking around about there. And then I'm just going to cut some frame pads down. These are 1mm, I'm not going super high. And if I pop 2 at my sort of highest points, and I can take that off and just add these all the way around. And I am going to put quite a few on there because I do want it to be, this is going to be the support for this part of the card as well, because it's the only bit that's going to be attached to anything. Everything else is going to be unattached to anything, so I'm going to be able to see right through it. If you wanted to add a little bit of stability, what you can do is pop this onto some acetate, but then just be aware the back of the acetate. You know, if you're using foam pads or glue, you will be able to see that on the other side, so just be a little bit careful. Okay, so just going to peel these off, and then that other one I will put down flat. I got my magazine today, Hunkydory magazine. I'm saying if you have got the money to buy the magazine this month, or this every 2 months, isn't it? Then this is the month to get it, because the kit is, it's I don't like this word because I think it's overused a lot sometimes in craft TV, but it is exquisite. It's just the foiling on it is just gorgeous. It really is a lovely kit, and it's floral, but it's kind of, it's not gothic, but the colours are kind of gothic floral. It's just beautiful. It really is beautiful. I opened it up and I was like, breath was taken away. It was just so gorgeous. So because this is the last play that I will have with this, it is a little bit off to one side, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. I will have a play with that next time. I think it's going to be on Hunkydory TV on Wednesday as well, so you know, perfect timing really. Okay, so this one is going in, like I said, flat. Just going to use the construction glue on there, get that into position, and now that is where we are at. So you can see through all of here. So it just gives that extra depth to your card. Now what we need is something to prop that up. And sentiments, I've got the choice of Cheers to You. So really those need to go with the beers. Got Top Man, Have a Day Fit for a King. I really feel that's chess. So we've got Top Man, or we can grab one of the little books. She says, I think I have got one more or less to hand. Got that one that's falling apart. The 2019. I'm sure there's more of this book somewhere, but I don't know. Maybe it's gone down the back. I shall have to drag the whole thing out. So sort of colour wise, I want the gold foiling, and maybe this sort of orange, red, blue. Blues tend to have silver foiling, so I don't think I'm going to get one from there. So pink, green, no. I don't think I want any of those anyway. No, so let's go through this one. Let's have a little look what we have. So we want a decent sized one as well. Could have for a dear grandson, to a special gentleman, your friends, granddads, that sort of thing. Oh, I love the brown. Brilliant nephew, my dad, my hero. To a great son, to a wonderful father-in-law. I wonder if we've got any other in that brown colour. Let me just quickly go through. These are all the sort of female ones. I think more general ones are at the back. I've been using this quite a lot on my dotty design cards as well, especially these sort of thinner, longer ones. It's not really the colour we want. Ooh, that's nice. What have we got here? Congratulations, it's time to celebrate. Perfecto. That is lovely, and a nice big size as well. I don't think I'm going to get any better than that, so I'm not even going to look anymore. It kind of fits in with these sort of dark red colours. Now I'm wondering whether I want a sort of border with that to go in, or whether I just want that to be randomly in the middle. I'm thinking it would be nice to have a border. So I'm just trimming the little pips off there. Okay, let me grab my trimmer. I'll drop the guillotine. And let's have a look what we've got on here. I've got some games on there, so let's bring that in. So I'm just going up to where the foil starts there. And that is 2 notches under 3/4. And I'm going to take that piece off because that's the sort of label at the top. And then I'm going to take this to 4 3/4. So we've got that sort of image of a card. Don't think we want one with the chips. And then if I grab a piece of that gold foil card, we'll go to 4 3/4. And that was 2 notches under 3/4. So if I go to 2 3/4, that should fit on there quite nicely. It does. Just pick that guillotine up. Okay, so I think what I'll do for this one is use my dotty tape pen. It's just going to be a little bit quicker than trying to use anything else. And those sort of sides of the sheets like that, it's usually one side that's bigger than the other. But yeah, they're perfect for doing these sort of borders. They usually have some kind of pattern that fits in with the design you're using. Okay, so I think we probably want to go to about there. So if I grab some 2mm foam pads, again these are a fix-it ones. Just going to put a good spread along to give that a good amount of support. Maybe one more on it. These 2mm ones, so slightly higher, just to give it something for that edge of the card to grab onto. Oops, can't get the end. There we go. And then the last one. Now I am going to give this some tacky glue just to give us a bit of wiggle room time. And I'm going to go that way around, I think. Yeah, we'll keep it that way. I'll put this sentiment on this left hand side. We will hide some of that card. I think probably going to need to cut a little bit off this. And again on the bottom there. So I don't particularly want that to go above, but I'm going to use it to rest on that border. Just put that one onto there. Actually, put tacky glue on there so it can stick to that border. Okay, and then I just need to get some gems. Okay, so I'm going to use these. These are Midnight Shimmer. A little bit of glitter, but not too much. They just look like they've got a bit of light in them, which is quite cool. Apologies, border isn't quite as great as it should be, but you will spend a lot more time making sure that yours are nice and straight. But that is going to be my 3 gems. And that is going to finish that first card. So we've got that over the top 5x7 easel card. See all that shimmer, all that gold in there. Folds down nice and flat. It will go in a 5x7 envelope. You could even put it in the 7x7 envelope if you've got that in the set. It wouldn't look too odd. But I have got some they're just slightly bigger than 5 by 7, so that's where that will go. That is card number 1, and I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2, I thought I'd make an off-center gatefold card. Haven't made one for a little while. They are one of my favourite sort of styles of card to make. You could go normal gatefold if you wanted to, but I just want that bigger panel on that left-hand side. So I'm going to score at 4 inches, and then I'm going to turn that around and score at 2. That will be all we need from there. And then we can just, actually we'll do it that way around because the card's just slightly brighter on one side. And again, I've started out with a piece of 6 by 12 cardstock 300 GSM. And that is the start of my card. Now I'm going to bring this guillotine in first of all because the insert needs to go inside it, and I'm just quickly going to cut that to 5 3/4 square. And that will go on the inside on a gold mat, of course. Now if I just pop that away, we'll go back to our normal trimmer, and we can start. I'll get 2 pieces of gold mirror card. And I'm going to start with the piece for the inside, which is going to be 2 notches under the 6 on both sides. Just going to give me that thin white border. It keeps it away from the sort of score lines, the creases, and it still lets your card open and shut normally. So for the front, I need a piece 2 by 6 for here. So again, I'm just going to take 2 notches off the 2. 2 notches off the 6, and that's going to be that one there. And then this one is 4 by 6, so likewise we're going to take 2 notches off the 4 and 2 notches off the 6. Okay, now I'm going to come back to that games night one. No, I'm not. I'm going to use this piece up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take which way is going to be 5 3/4 that way. So if I go, let me see, just deciding whether I want to cut into that other piece. Okay, let's do it. Let's do this piece here. So I'm going to turn that round and cut that to 5 3/4. Actually, now I might be in a better place to use that one. I could go to right, okay, so let's decide. So that means that my dices are going to be upside down. However, if I cut it that way, no, it's not going to work that way. Because what will happen is when I cut it, if I cut it at 4 here, what I'm going to have is this triangle on that side. I don't think it really works as well upside down. It looks a little weird to my eye, even if we took that at 4 3/4 and it was just that little corner. I think it would look a little odd. Yeah, we will use this one up. We will use it. Okay, so I'm going to go to 3 3/4. And that should be by 5 3/4. So that's going to be my piece on here. So we've still got that piece on there going across that way, but we can use this piece to fit in. I'm going to take that to 1 3/4 and that's going to carry that design across, so it's not going to look quite so odd. Okay. So let's do some assembling, and because I've had to use that bit there, I might not put as much on in the way of toppers and things. Okay, so let's see what they look like once we've got everything assembled. So I'm going to use my normal glues, just get this mats and layers on, and then we'll have a little look at the toppers. Okay, should have done the inside first. Never mind, we've committed to that now, so let's do that. Let's pop that one out of the way. Just give that a good press down. It feels like it's popping up a little bit, so let's just give that a good press down. Okay. Throwing me off now because it's different to how I decided I wanted to do it in my head, but it will still look nice, so it'll be fine. My brain's a bit like one of those sat navs that takes its time recalculating a new route, but we'll get there. Okay, and the benefit of using both of those types of glue, these types of glue, is that you don't get such a long time where the cardstock can move around, but you do still get quite a lot of freedom to make sort of changes and get that straight, you know, until you're sort of happy with it. Okay, so we'll give that a good press down. And then this one will go onto there. I'll put that on there. You can see it's coming together quite nicely. So let's glue this onto here. So again, because it's the paper, we've gone back to those glue dots. I can use my all-purpose glue though, so that's fine with paper. And I can just float that into position using that all-purpose glue. And I'm happy, give that a good press down. Just give that a good press. Make sure we've got a good amount of connectivity with that glue and the paper and the cardstock. And then this can go on the inside. We're ready for a message. Because it's a sort of a matte finish to these inserts, if you wanted to stamp a sentiment in there, you could do, or you could use another sentiment from the book, have like a sub sentiment on the inside if you wanted to. Right, so let's have a look at these toppers, see where we want to go. I think I'm going to mix these up. So for someone, this is going to be their idea of a perfect night out. A couple of games, a beer and a burger. So let's bring that in. Bring it more over to that side. Where's my scissors gone? Because I can see a couple of pips. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's grab some foam pads. Now I'm kind of thinking I want it more on this side, and then I'm going to have this down the bottom, and then we'll have some gems up there, because I don't want to cover up so much of that image. I'm thinking I'm probably going to be fine just to add maybe 2 and a bit of foam pads. So there we go. So pop that one, and I'm going to bring that right about there, I think. There we are. So again, I'm going to use these 1mm foam pads. So I've got loads of little bits here because I've been cutting them up for decoupage. So just choose some of those. There we go. So this one took a little while to come together in my head, but we got there. Okay, top man. Let's put that straight in the middle. So I think I'm going to bring in my pearls. And I'm going to grab that one, a blue one and a red one, because that's pretty much the colours we've got in this card. So let's see what those look like up there, and then I might actually go a little bit more in the corner. Okay, and then I think I'm going to go with a smaller blue and a smaller red, because there is quite a lot of black on this card, so they will go down this bottom corner. So let's just clean that glue up. It's got to be dried off a little bit. Closer together than I thought, but hey ho, that will be fine. Be nice if we could get them straight though. There we go. It needs to go over a little bit more. There we go. And then I'm going to pop these ones down here. So also I will go quite close together on these. So that we've got our 5. Okay, and that is going to finish that card. So that is card number 2. Again, like I say, if you wanted to put another little sentiment on the inside, stamp on it, whatever, you've got that option with that insert. So that's card number 1. Just bring that up a little closer so that you can see that. If you wanted to pick one colour on the gems, you could do. I just thought, since I've literally got 3 pots, those 3 pots there, and that's the only colours I've got like that. So it was quite handy that they were in the colours of the toppers on the actual thing. So happy days. So those are my 2 cards for today. What I will do is finish up using the kit, and I'm hopefully going to do that today and tomorrow, and get those posted in the Facebook group, my Facebook page, so that, you know, if you wanted to go in and have a little look at the what I've done, you can do, and then you've got sort of 2 lots of inspiration really, because you've got all of the Hunkydory ones, and then you've got the ones that I've done as well. You know, it just gives you somewhere to go from if you are a little bit sort of stuck, or your mojo's gone on holiday, anything like that. And then next time I'm coming back with that magazine kit, which is, like I said, it is really, really beautiful. You honestly, if you are not a subscriber to the magazine, then make sure you go get in quick, because I think this one is going to go quite quickly, because it is really lovely. But you will see that for yourself on Wednesday. I'll be back on Wednesday as well, but until then, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.